Welcome into All Things LA Real Estate. My name is PK Knoll. I'm running point on this channel. February real estate update, San Gabriel, Rosemead. We're going to break down everything you need to know. These two, along with Alhambra and Monterey Park, four neighborhoods that I absolutely love from a financial perspective as far as purchasing a home, and people are starting to catch on. So you need to jump on these neighborhoods sooner than later. They sit basically just off kind of like the southeast side of Pasadena as you kind of come out east over here. Good schools, low on crime, low on homeless, good commercial areas. You got your Targets, you got your coffee shops, you got your restaurants. So these are areas you need to start looking around. We're going to break down all the numbers. I know it's not the most exciting portion of real estate. You want to look at the houses and the redone bathrooms and the back porch, but you got to understand the finances. You got to understand the numbers, and that's what I'm going to break down for you here in this video. When it comes to San Gabriel, Rosemead, we pair these two neighborhoods together because demographically they're very similar, because they are very similar from a commercial real estate perspective. They're very similar, most importantly, from a numbers perspective. So we pair them together, and obviously they sit right on top of each other. And we're going to kind of bring it all together. So we'll get into the current numbers, month over month, year over year, break it all down, tell it what it means for you. Let's go. Before we get into the specifics of the neighborhood, we got to have the rates conversation because it's so relevant right now. So we just saw rates jump a little bit above 7% again. We had some positive things kind of come in as the rates dropped a little bit, back up over 7. Not the best CPI number. That's this consumer price index. Basically, that kind of tells us where inflation's going. Jerome Powell just came out in the first meeting from the Fed. They kept the rates where they're at, made it very clear when he comes out in the middle of March, he's going to do the very same thing on the 20th. Maybe May 1st, if all the numbers kind of continue to trend in the right direction and we start to see that inflation get closer and closer to 2, we could see our first rate cut in May. Not likely, probably not till summer, maybe even later. There still is the anticipation that we get 3 rate cuts this year. I think the people who assumed it was going to be 6 have kind of started to backpedal on that idea. But basically what's going to happen is this, in short, logically, rates start to cut. Buyers become able to afford again. They start to come back into the market. We get more demand. Home prices start to jump a little bit. The people who've been sitting on the sideline, who've been waiting to sell their homes, see that their home's going to have more value. That interest rate starts to, move closer to where their current interest rate's at, right? We got 90% of people below a 6% interest rate. Many of them below 5, 4, and 3. And we hopefully will get a bunch of inventory from that. There'll be a month or two where things get a little bit crazy weighing in the neighborhoods. And then hopefully, by 12, 24 months, we can start getting back to a normal real estate market. So currently in San Gabriel, Rosemead, 26 homes available for sale. 5 of those homes have seen price drops, so about 19%. Not the highest we've seen on the east side. We've seen price drops consistently throughout the last, 6, 8, 10 months. There's just not a lot of buyer demand when homes start to sit for a while, unless you got a real estate agent that's going to go above and beyond. The only tool you have in the shed is to kind of bring the price down and hope that brings in some new buyers. Now, normally out in these neighborhoods, we've seen 35 to 40 homes available for sale throughout 2023, a year we dealt with low inventory. So 26 is really not a desirable number. It's not where we need to be. So hopefully as we move into March, April, May, more people start to get back into the market and we can start to improve the inventory perspective on that. Minimum available for sale is $450K right now. I'm just telling you, on any reasonable neighborhood on the east side, the land is worth about $450K. So as you might assume, with this home available for $450K, it needs some serious work. It is not turnkey. You're going to have to come in and put a bunch into it. Maximum right now, $2.499 million. That brings our average to 1.076, 0.22. That is down about $100K from the averages we were used to come last year. So we got to kind of keep our eye on that. Obviously, we got that outlier, the $450K, but with 26 homes, it shouldn't influence it enough. But what we're kind of seeing right now is, just the averages dipping a little bit as, prices have to drop off of the normal averages. So we're going to keep our eye on that number. We want to see it get back up into the $1.5 million range so we can get back to the consistency of 2023. The big expectation, if I'm on either side of the spectrum, if I'm a homeowner, probably not getting a lot of appreciation right now over the first couple of months on your home. If I'm a home buyer, there could be some opportunities. If you can muster the 7% interest rate it's going to take to finance right now, you might be able to go out and make some deals and get a home under, the essential market value. The median price right now available in the neighborhood, $989,500. So that kind of shows you some insight that 450 is not what driving the average price down, right? Because our median is even lower than the average right now. So it's actually that top end that's driving the average to a different site. So we might even be a little bit lower than what the average is telling us, with our median price being under $1 million. That's where the value comes in with these four neighborhoods. There's not a lot of opportunities on the east side in general to get homes at or below $1 million, right? Even Cypress Park, Montecito Heights, and Glassell Park are up over $1 million on average. El Sereno is the only neighborhood on the east side that's cheaper. It's about $890K on average, but everything else around it is crazy, right? You look at, Eagle Rock's like 1.6, Highland Park's 1.2, Pasadena, don't get me started, La Cañada Flint Ridge, $4 million, Silver Lake, 1.596, I believe, is Silver Lake Echo Park right now. So these two relevant neighborhoods, along with Alhambra and Monterey Park right next door, which have very similar numbers, is really why these neighborhoods are attractive, because they check the three boxes I look for outside of the specific, residential side of real estate, which is, do you have good schools? Are you low on crime? And do you have a good kind of commercial real estate setup? Can people move into the neighborhood and go shopping and go get coffee and go to a restaurant and go to a movie, and they have a Target, and they have all those kind of things that make it homely and make it a good place to live, and they check all the boxes in San Gabriel, Rosemead. Days on market is 58. We're keeping a close eye on that number. Hopefully, as inventory comes up, we can drive that number down, but 60 is the golden number when you look at days in market, because basically if somebody lists their home, if they have to wait 2 months for that home to get an offer that they like, they typically lose patience, and we start to see those price drops. So we could see that 19% number start to get a little bit higher if we don't start to see the things that we want, the offers we want, and we don't get more buyers into the market. February of 2023, 13 homes sold at a 99% clip. So we're going to have a tough time getting to that number year over year, but that is one thing we are adamant we need to start happening, because 2023 was not a good year in real estate. High rates, inventory issues, incredibly low sales. So we really cannot afford another year of low sales, especially declines. So we're really hoping, as we can get things moving in the right direction, that we start to see some year-over-year gains. But let's go ahead and take a peek and see how the year started out in the neighborhoods. Go take a look at January's real estate numbers. It's always important to look exactly what's happening most recently if you're somebody who's searching in the neighborhood. If you are somebody who's considering buying, make sure you're with an agent, whether it's me or somebody else. You need that professional help. It's not going to cost you a penny. You're never going to make an offer unless the house is right for you, but you want to be ready when the right home becomes available. As we get into January, we had 25 homes sell, which is solid. 103% clip, so on average, 3% over that list price. Normally in San Gabriel, Rosemead, we've been seeing 5-6%, so a little bit less on the demand side, but we are still getting homes that are selling over the list price, because a lot of neighborhoods are dealing with, homes having to settle under the list price. Silver Lake, 99%. Atwater Village had 0 sales. La Cañada Flint Ridge went to 97%. So when we see the 103, that shows a little bit of health in the market. The minimum that we had sold last month was $635K. We had a home sell for $2.48 million on the top end, and that brought our average to $1.131880. That is the lowest we've seen in 6 months as far as the average goes in San Gabriel in Rosemead. So just really, that's more of a reflection that the top end stuff is much harder to sell right now with the 7% interest rates. When attractive homes become available in safe, good neighborhoods, they go off the market a lot quicker. So that's what's driving our average down. Our median was 1.170000. Days on market for the homes that sold with 28, a little bit on the higher end, but it's just a reflection that you do also need to understand. You got to get out and be ready to get a home if it comes available, because you can't wait when it comes to this game. If you see an attractive home, you can't go look at it at the open house, then get with a lender, then get with an agent, and then think that home's still going to be available to put in that offer, because if it fits your bill, it's probably going to fit some other people's bill. So get your ducks in a row and be ready for that kind of stuff. But we looked at January of 2023 last year, 18 homes sold at a 99% clip. So that is a 38% increase year over year, which is incredible. We are seeing huge declines in January, even from 2023. 2023 still had a little bit of lingering from 2022. Things progressively got worse as we continued to raise rates throughout the year last year. But we saw a 38% increase in these neighborhoods, and I think it's because of logistically, people are getting priced out of the Pasadenas, the Mount Washingtons, the Eagle Rocks, the Highland Parks, and they got to go into other, safe, homely, good school neighborhoods in San Gabriel, Rosemead, and then, Alhambra, Monterey Park is probably another two neighborhoods that are getting very popular and starting to see sales. So positive news in the neighborhood. We had a decent amount of transactions compared, especially to some of the traction we've seen at the surrounding East Side neighborhoods. So we're going to keep our eye on things. We want to get that inventory number back up to 3540 so we can get back to, hoping to see some year over year increases continue in the neighborhood. But we'll take 38% all day. Thank you so much for watching the video. We do this every single month for almost every neighborhood on the East Side. We're doing Pasadena, Silver Lake, Eagle Rock, Highland Park, Glendale, La Cañada, El Sereno, Cypress Park. The list goes on and on. So like and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined. If you're somebody who's looking to purchase a home on the East Side of Los Angeles or sell your home, I am happy to help out with you. Reach out to me. You can send me a direct message online, or all of my phone numbers are listed. Even if you're somebody who's hesitant with 7% interest rates, that puts us in the same boat. It always helps to start preparing for future opportunities because you don't want to miss the boat there. We will tread lightly. We will look for value, and we will get it done. I also do a ton of other videos. I get into the schools. I get into, the restaurants in the neighborhood. I get into the attractions in the neighborhood. I do some other fun videos like quick cribs. So once again, like and subscribe if you are so inclined. Have a great day. Be kind.
Yeah.